I'm here. I'm kneeling. Usually I don't know how I'm supposed to set up the camera. Usually I just put a bunch of books on it, but I don't feel like doing that today. So I'm just kneeling. I think it works. I think I recorded a video on Monday. I haven't edited it yet. Today is Sunday, August 23rd. I'm going to talk about a little bit about my cat charts. I think I talked about that on Monday. And I went on a date yesterday. I'll talk about the date. It was pretty much it was really weird. It was like an exact repeat of what happened on the date before with that other girl, Grace. Um, and they were like the same person. They were both oceanographers. I guess that's it, but that's pretty weird similarity. And I don't know, the date just kind of felt like it went similar. I am glad I got to go to this historic village in the Dismal Swamp in Virginia, because that's where I wanted to go with Grace, and then I couldn't. So then I was like, oh, I think this person might want to go. So I asked her, and she said yes. And we went, and it was cool. And we walked on that canal trail, and we ate muscadine grapes off the tree. That was fun. I thought it went well. In my cat chart, this is the category of, I guess it's alone with like one person or something like that. And I was gonna give it a 7 out of 10 because it went really well and I felt like I was being myself and making jokes. Here's an example of like an interaction that went how I wanted it to go. And it's like, this is not a high bar. This is just how I want to communicate who I am. And I was able to do it on the date. And 99% of the time, I can't do this. I don't know what it is about these like last two dates where I was able to be myself. But it's good. But so she asked me, like, we were talking about cookies for some reason. She asked me about oatmeal raisin cookies. And she was like, do you like oatmeal raisin cookies or something? And I was like, yeah. And then I said, but you don't like them, right? I was like, can we still be friends or something? I don't know. I said it in a good way in the moment, and that's just an example of like me being myself and stuff. So, because I was just thinking, like, if I was at work and my coworker asked me that, I would freeze and I don't know if I like cookies. I never know anything about cookies, and I don't know what to say, but I don't know why. Because like I'm not nervous when he's asking me. Maybe it is just I don't want to talk to him and I want to talk to the girl on the date. And I don't want to admit that because I don't like that. I don't like that my coworker who's like being super nice to me and talking to me, asking me about cookies or whatever, who I've sat next to for 8 months, he actually wants to know how I feel about cookies. I'm like, I don't want to talk to you. I want to work. Get out of my face internally. And then this girl that I just met one time, I mean, I don't know if I said, but she texted me yesterday after the date that, like, oh, I didn't feel a connection, but good luck with your future endeavors or whatever she said. So, no, in the moment, I'm sure she cared if I liked cookies, but just kind of feel like, well, I just mean to say, I don't like that that I want to talk to the girl on the date, but I don't want to talk to my coworker who's being super nice to me. So I won't admit it. I'm like, no, it must be me. I must just be anxious. So I don't know what to say. And it's weird to not, I still don't want to admit it. So I don't know. And maybe it's not true. Maybe there's something else going on. And I think it is movement. I don't know. It just feels like moving helps me focus and talk better, be myself more for some reason. So when we were having the cookie conversation, we were walking down the trail. I've definitely found a good first date thing. I think I kind of hate coffee dates where you just sit and talk to the person. I like doing stuff more, definitely. Took me 33 years to figure it out, but I like I like when I went to that Harbor Fest thing and there's like the boats and oh look at this boat. There's a big boat. I don't know. So you just can talk and it's easier and it's more interesting. That's why just sitting in the office cube is just like maybe it's just boring and I don't care. How do I make myself care? I want to care. I want to care about my coworker. I don't want to be a terrible person and just be like, get out of here. Stop asking me about cookies. I don't care what kind of cookies. And then this girl, I'm like, tell me every opinion you have about cookies. You're so interesting. I don't like that. I don't like it. Anyway, so I was very sad. I did really appreciate that she sent me the text. And that's why actually I'm feeling better today than I did last time when the girl Grace just unmatched with me after a week when I thought we were going to meet again. That was really hard. And so today I'm doing okay. I did a long run. It was really hot out, so I didn't go great, but I did 14 miles, which was nice. And then I went to IHOP and I got pancakes. And I did enjoy that. When I do my cats, I think the IHOP was a 6. I got the breakfast. I got Oreo pancakes and cinnamon pancakes and hash browns, and it was very good. I've been feeling, even though I had these couple bad things, and nothing materially is any better than it was in May when I was doing really, really bad. Nothing has changed. If anything, it's gotten worse. Like, objectively, socially, objectively, my life has gotten worse. But I don't feel as bad about it because I'm taking pills, I guess. I don't know. I think it's obviously good that I'm not as depressed as I was before. I do think I was able to be more myself yesterday because I wasn't as depressed. So that's good. The next time I record, I want to show you my cat graphs. I haven't finished my cat graphs yet. I've only been doing it for like a week. So I want to have the charts. I kind of talked about this in the last video, I think, but I've more formulated what I want to do. I still don't know if it's going to work. And I was actually talking to my mom because she does ABA therapy with autistic kids. And when she was talking about ABA therapy, it was kind of similar to what I was doing, which is like you want the autistic kid to put their clothes away or something, so you give them a number. If they do it good, if they don't, then you have to, I don't know. I don't know exactly how it works, but it's kind of what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do, this is like my hypothesis. It might not even work, but my hypothesis is like, okay, I'm sad because when I interact with other people, I'm not comfortable. I'm not able to be myself. I'm not happy. So it's a 2. I'm always a 2 when I'm around other people. And I want it to be a 5. So I'll have the chart and I'll have my journal notes for every day of when I interacted with people. And then it'll say, okay, on Thursday, you interacted with your coworker and he asked you about cookies and you were like, oh, I don't know. And it was really uncomfortable and you hated it. And so that was a 2. And then you can write why you think it was a 2, like the cons and the pros. That's what I want to put. So if you have like a good day, you put a bunch of pros. And then if you have a bad day, you put a bunch of cons. And then you put those cons under the graph and you're like, okay, I was a 2 here because why do I think I was a 2? Was it because I really wanted to do my work that day? I was tired, or I just don't like this guy. He's like annoying. And then you can start to sort out like what's good about interactions and what's bad. And then you can just tweak it and be like, okay, try to lessen the bad stuff and increase the good stuff. Like, I know I like moving and talking on these dates, and so I like, if I want to meet more people, I'll try to do it while I can move and walk around, and that'll increase. Like, my first date that I went on here, we just had coffee for an hour, and it didn't go great. It was like a 4, maybe. And then yesterday, I was maybe like a 6 because I was able to walk around and do something that interested me, like look at the maps of the Dismal Swamp and the history and read about the school there. So then eventually I want to get that number up to a 5 and then hopefully that means I'm not depressed anymore because I'm saying I'm a 5. And right now I'm depressed because I'm a 2 or a 1. So if I can get to a 5, then I'm saying that I'm not sad, I'm happy. And I have to just objectively be like, oh, how do I feel? And that's why I like this, because it is subjective. It's taking away the objectivity mindset that you develop when you're doing anxiety therapy, which I don't have to do anymore. I have to do therapy for depression. And to me, that's about actually feeling good about who you are and yourself. And to do that, I have to subjectively be like, what do I like? What do I want to do? What people do I like? Who do I want to hang out with? It's not removing your subjective feelings, which is what you kind of have to do with anxiety, because you have to tell yourself you feel anxious and terrible, but you shouldn't. Objectively, because other people don't care about like your pimples. And you have to tell yourself, other people don't care. I shouldn't be feeling the way I'm feeling right now. That's not exactly right, but it's kind of that's at least how it feels in this moment. Like I just want to shift from objectivity to subjectivity. I want to be happy in myself. And I want to feel like I know who I am and I know what to do and I like myself and I like doing stuff. I like going to IHOP or whatever. And I meet a girl and I like her. And I know this. I'm not saying, well, I don't know if I like her because maybe I am anxious a little bit and maybe my anxiety is making me not like being around her. Either I like her or I don't. I liked the girl on Sunday and she didn't like me. That's fine. Yeah. Smile later. Tell me how you're doing. Hope you're okay. If anybody's watching, somebody in one of the last videos was like, I'm glad you're still posting, so I guess this is good. Thank you for saying that. And thanks, friends. Smile later. Bye.